Okay, I need your help. Okay, so this might be a bit of a long video, so if you need a drink in order to watch these things for any period of time, that is Zeus's tale. Grab yourself a drink of some kind. Basically, I need some help resetting for quarter two. I'm going to go over quarter one and talk about all the things that worked or didn't work. And also maybe talk about some of the problems I've been having, or they're not problems necessarily, but things that I want to address or change in quarter two. I do have, so currently using these two planners, oops, there's some emojis here. I'm using my common planner from Sterling Ink in an A5 size, and this is my, kind of everyday, everything pretty much goes in here planner. And then I'm also using another Sterling Ink product, the I think it's the N2 is the weeks, I'm not sure, but it's the weeks size. And I use this as my reading planner for the most part, but a reading journal, but it also has my social media. And that's largely what the problem is, but I'll talk about that when I go through things. I have made a little note, but about what has worked and what hasn't, and what kind of things I want to continue. But I thought I'd just go through it with you, and then maybe you guys can help me think about what I might do differently. I have these two books here because these are options for quarter two. I don't really want to have 3 planners in my lineup, so 2 is like the most I want to be using, but I do have these. So this is the Cat Weeks. I only bought it because of the cover, and do I regret it? I don't know, maybe that's a future video. I have been using it sporadically. Initially I thought, like when I first started using this, I thought, well, I was going to put all my social media in here. Then it didn't, what was I just didn't love it. And I thought I could do with only 2 books. But then the other day the other week I brought it out because I needed to replan some stuff. And yeah, I also used it in the back to write a bit of scripting for other videos. So that's an option. And then this is something I've never used. This is the Hobonichi Techo original, but the Hun version, so it's got like the hard cover. It's the Japanese one. I've never used it. I had plans for it when I bought it, of course, but then I never used it. I haven't even set it up or anything. Then I thought maybe I'd sell it. Now I'm more kind of thinking I might use it in the future I say redate, but like they've got the Japanese, which doesn't mean anything to me anyway. So the numbers are all really that matters. Obviously the calendars would have to change a bit, but yeah, so this is, whilst it's an option, it's something I really don't want to use. But if you're watching this and you think I've got a great idea at the end of it for her, please leave a message in the comments and let me know what you think I should be doing. So let's go. I'm going to take this out of this my Moterm cover. I really like this cover. It's really nice, but it does put a lot of extra weight and bulk. I kind of wish that it didn't have this large pocket at the back. I rarely use that large pocket, and if it was like thinner like that, that would be so nice. I'm sure there are planner covers that don't have that, and if there are, again, and you know, please leave that in the comments. Right. I did also want to say that Sterling Ink, where I've gotten these planners from, are having a 25% off on their 2024 planners. I think it starts on April 1st, and I'm thinking I might get a B6. I want to see what that size, if I like that size, and so this kind of opportunity to get a B6. But I love this so much. Like, this has been so fun for me that there's something inside me that says buy another one of these, or to buy the notebook that's this size. I think the B6 is going to be just like that much more. So, and this is not my favorite size, but we'll see. We'll see. So let's go through these and I'll tell you what I liked about them, what I liked doing in quarter one, and what I'm going to change for quarter two. Also get rid of Zeus so he's not right in the middle. Okay, so we'll start with my Sterling Ink Comic Planner, the A5 size. I like this cover. I like the stickers where they are. I like the stickers that I used, and I think I'll just stick with them. I don't always see this because sometimes it's in my moat term, so that's fine. In here, I have these stickers here that I didn't stick down. So in case you didn't know, I don't like to stick my vinyls down. I like to just put a little washi tape on the back and then use that to stick down. But I'm going to take these off because I have this pocket here. I'm going to move this as well. I have this pocket here, and I never put anything in here if they're tall because it's covering the stickers. And I do want to put in the current month of monthly stickers. So this sheet just got a little Coffee Monsters Co. washi remnant on there. So I want to put this sheet in there so that I always have it with me when I do my dailies. But that's the only thing. Then I'll probably, with these stickers, I'll probably find other places for them, but I don't know yet. So I'm just going to put them on the side. Okay, so let's go through and see what's working, what's not working so well. So the first thing we come to is this. Just want to make sure I'm on the, you can see everything. Okay, the first thing I've come to is the index. I haven't done much with this. You can see I've only had a few things here that I've wanted to index. So these are pages in my daily that I wanted to come back to. And I do like the idea of having something, and I am using it. So when there's something I want to index, I do put it here. However, the one caveat of this is that when I'm looking for, say, my Tombow swatches, for example, I never think to look back here. I just kind of go through my dailies. So I'm not sure that it's actually working or functioning as an index. It's more, I suppose, a list of things, but I am going to keep up with it. That's going to continue in quarter two. I've also not done anything here to this goal spread. It is already set up for the whole year, and I'll link the video where I talk about this. But basically, or if I remember, I will. But basically I have the categories on this side, and then I put in this, instead of like the any day, like what your dream any day scenario is. I don't like that idea. So I've just put what kind of values the goal is meeting, so that I can feel like the goal is for a reason rather than just to say I have a goal. And so I did all that at the start of the year, and I'll continue with that. So here's where we have our first kind of thing that we have to address, I suppose. And you guys can let me know if you have the common planner, what did you do in this space? So this part where I track my habits, you can see I've done it. We're in this last bit of March here. So for quarter one, I have actually tracked, and I've never tracked anything for 3 months before. So I'm really happy about that. You can see here that there are goals that I always meet, like reading every day. I meet that every day. But there are also goals that I hardly ever meet, like flossing, eye drops, water sometimes. And this is not just like, you know, drinking water in the day, but having a substantial amount of water. I don't put an amount on it, but enough that I feel like, oh, I drank a lot of water today. So I like this. I'm going to continue with this. On the bottom here, what I have done is kind of total everything and then give myself like a kind of productivity percentage for each month. I will do that for this month. Going forward, I think how I want to change this is to, I don't know who I was watching. It might have been my Dandelion Diaries, but she said that she wasn't going to fill out the whole year because her goals will change, and her habits that she wants to track will change, and also that some of them have become habits. She doesn't need to track them anymore. And I was thinking, oh, duh, that's a good point. So I don't need to track reading because I read every day. So I'm going to take out some of the ones that I don't need to track anymore, and keep the ones that I have had trouble with doing. So floss will be back on there. Water, eye drops. I'll probably keep in work and Stephanie plans and reads, stuff like that. But the stuff that I do every day without fail, I'm not going to put in. So that's what I'm going to do for this page. This page, it says to put priorities here, and then it has a space for the 3 months. So that's the empty one. That's how it looks. And what I did was every month I put in my, kind of things that I wanted to do in that month in terms of like goals that are aligned with the goals that I have here. And that's fine. I think that's fine. I don't think I'm using this page to its full capacity. So I don't have any priorities here. I could list these priorities in this section, and then these 3 things could be something different. They could be reflections on how the month went. What of this priority did I accomplish down here? So I think I will list my priorities here, and then here I will just have a kind of how did April go, how did May go, how did June go? And this relatively stays the same. So far, I think I'm pretty good. I don't need your help with that. I think I'm good. We're getting to where I need your help for sure. So here, what I've done is I always put down, so let's look at March because it's not filled in. So March, I always put down the holidays. I put in appointments at the top. I do a little bit of deco, but not that much. They're mainly functional. And then I also put in what I have read that day. Now, I didn't have that originally. I added it later only because I thought that looked kind of empty. And I am already doing a version of this in my reading planner where I write down what I've read that day. So this stuff This information is extra, and I do it at the end of the month, but it's extra. It's repeated information that's not needed. So I could get rid of it in quarter 2 and put something else in its place. And we'll talk about that as I go through. Okay, so then weeklies. Let's look at some weeklies for the month. So we start off with, yeah, this one. This is when I'm really getting into putting my to-do lists at the bottom for each day. I like the functionality of this. Otherwise, I just wasn't going back to my weekly once I had done it, because I felt like my to-do lists were kind of all over the place, or I wasn't making them. So yeah, this is how it looks for the first week, the end of February. The second week, I'm using this sidebar to write my reflections and the meals that we had that week. I don't meal plan ahead of time. I just kind of put it as I go. It's just kind of a memory of what, you know, we ate. And it's good to go back and say, oh, what would we have when we don't know what we're going to have for dinner? We can go back and look at them. This is the week 11. Again, I pre-dot sometimes, and I don't always use it. I find near the end of the week, and I think this is the case with a lot of people, I don't always, you know, I'm not always as diligent on the weeklies as I am on the dailies toward the end of the week. But there we go. This was the last week, I think. Really still enjoying putting, I didn't realize that I have a lot of blue in this quarter. That's planner cake kit, and again, the things on the bottom are working well for me. And then we're on this week, and we're on Friday, and I'm just doing this filming that should have been done yesterday today. Yeah, so this is where we are. I think largely in terms of my weeklies, I'm really liking it. I love the reflection on the side. That's perfect. And I like the to-do list on the day that I do it. And I think that if I moved the to-do list, which I'll talk about, to the dailies, that I wouldn't know what to put in every week, because at the moment, not working. Obviously, if that changes, then, you know, these things change. But that's what's great about planning, is that you can change how you plan if your life changes. So the only thing that I don't love about the weekly is that, and it has to do with this planner as well, is that I'm finding that my social media to-dos, and I'm thinking about Stephanie plans and reads, so not my personal stuff, but like taking pictures, editing videos, filming, that kind of stuff, doesn't get done. I always feel like I'm behind the 8 ball with it. Like, you know, Sunday will come up and I haven't filmed yet or something. Like it feels like it gets lost, because I'm going to this for my plans, not necessarily to this. And I'm thinking, oh, I'll do these, do this, and then all of a sudden I've got a video that's supposed to go out. So we'll talk about that in a second as well. So I was thinking about, you know, do I move my social media to-dos in this like to-do section here? Question for you guys. What do you think? Where do you put your to-do lists? Are they on the weeklies, or are they on the dailies? And do you put all of your to-dos for all of the different aspects of your life in one list, or do you have many lists? And how do you remember to consult all of those lists? Lots of questions for you today. Okay, so then we have March in my dailies. So March started on Friday. I like the look of these dailies what I've done so far. So basically I started off doing this kind of half page here in March, continuing what I was doing on February, making fun of my mistakes, and it's just paper. And then here I thought, okay, I want to try something new and dividing the page vertically rather than horizontally. So I started doing this, and I mean, this is one of my favorite pages. I really like this. It looks full enough. I like the little deco. Then I have a kind of master to-do list. I found at the beginning of March I had a lot of things to do, and you can see that I still haven't done all of them, but we are working on them. Yeah, so basically this continues. There's more kind of white space than I love, but I do start swatching these new Coffee Masters Kawashis. Yeah, just I'm adding stickers when I like, and obviously this green comes up a lot because it's one of my favorite colors. And we are here, well, it's Friday, so I have to do Fridays. And here I didn't use any stickers, and on Thursday I find, like, because I'm always using my Clenna, which I love, it's always black, but I have so many like pens. I have like a carousel of pens over here. I have pocket of pens, like there's pens everywhere, so, and all different colors. So I thought, well, why not I start using them. So I am, and then I've already put like a want list for stuff before I start April. So I'll just keep it here. So what are the kind of things I'm liking about the dailies for Q1? I love that I can do whatever I want back here. So I could have this whole page be a daily. I could do two. I could, I love it. I think at the beginning of the year, I started just kind of basically, throwing up on the page, which was not my favorite, but I like the idea that I could do that if I wanted to. But I am on page 47, and this goes to page 360 something. There's a lot of pages left, and I'm worried that I'm going to have a lot of pages left. So I could just write more, you're saying, Stephanie. I could. So I could make a day per page per day. And because I've used, for 3 months, I have not used a page per day. I have quite enough to still do the occasional when I want to write a whole page of things I want, or, a to-do list, or I've got squash papers, whatever. I could still do that. And if I did a page per day, what would I put on the day? Well, I always have my gratitude, and I always have a little bit of reflection about the day. And when I say reflection, it's more like what happened that day, because I often forget. So I'll have something there. So I could continue to do that, or I could do something like I used to do in my whatever, the cousin. So let's turn to a page that I know I've vetted before. It's okay to show. So here I've put in my to-do list. Then there's like also some, little noties. Then I've got my gratitude. And then I have like a whole big page for reflection. So I could do that. So I may start doing a page per day in Q2. But if I do that, then I don't need them here. And then here, what do I put? Dilemma. But all in all, I'm really enjoying this book. It's held up, I think, fairly well. It sometimes goes like, I don't know how to describe it, but it sometimes goes like this. Can you kind of see that? So you can see probably better there. And I don't love that, so I kind of just like move it back. But I will say that 100% it has everything I need in a planner, and I will continue to be using this for the next year. It might be in a slightly smaller size depending, but it will definitely be the Sterling Ink planners because they're great. So that's this one. That moves us into this one. Let me take a sip of my tea. Okay, so that moves us into this one. This is my reading / social media. And as I was saying with my other planner, I am forgetting to do my social media to-do list. So keep that in mind as we go through this and see if you can see where the problem is. So again, I just keep some stickers stuck in that I actually used for this planner. I haven't done anything with that, never do. I haven't done anything with this because I don't need to, but that doesn't mean it won't be done at some point. And here I just have my reading goals. So 100 books or 75. I think 75 is the one I've put on Goodreads. And but I've been reading at the pace of 100, so that's fine. And I also want to read more classics and nonfiction. So I have 10 of those I want to read as a goal, and then I've just broken it down like they have it. Then on the bottom here, I've written out, I want to keep track of the genres. So I've written out the genres that I read, and then I track, so there's the month, and I track what I've read out of that genre every month. This is working for me. Would I have made it a little bit nicer, neater? Maybe. But this is also I use the Uniball pen from Hobonichi for this. And honestly, I love using this pen. Like, I know it's ballpoint and everybody's going to be, oh, gel pen's better. And yes, I love the way this one looks, and it's smooth to write with. I love this pen. But on this paper, there's just something about it, and I love that texture it gives. So this one is definitely a messy planner, and I'm okay with that. So here in the quarter, again, this page I won't change. So I put all the goals I want to accomplish in the quarter up here, and then in these ones I write down the name of the book that I finished reading and what genre it is. So I will definitely continue that here. So I've already started. At the top, I put my stats, or no, I don't. I don't put anything at the top. At the bottom, I've put my stats, how many viewers and things like that. And then I was thinking I might use, at the moment, I'm not tracking anything in here or doing anything with this actual part of the book. And so I was thinking I might start tracking what type of posts I put. So YouTube videos, either shorts, the posts, Instagram reels, whatever. I'm not sure, and I've started doing that. I'm not sure I will do that for reasons that will be clear as we move forward. Okay, so this is where really messy stuff starts in. I'll show you the month of March. Okay, so this is where I plan my social media. And actually, I think I'm going to bring you down a little bit. Okay, so this is where I plan my social media. Other people who are content creators, if you are watching this, I would love to know how you do this, but I put everything in this month view, and then I write my to-dos. That's what's required in order to do those things here. in the notes pages at the back. It is working in the sense that it helps me schedule what I'm going to be doing when, but it does not help me with the to-dos, and we will talk about that as we move through here. I've already set up April in the way I've done it here, but I'm not sure I'll continue, and that, you know, this is one of my problems here, which I guess I don't know if I should continue, ultimately don't know if I should continue doing social media in this book, if maybe I should move it to either one of my, you know, existing planners that I'm not using, or transfer it into here, all my social media into here, and this just be my reading journal. So that's the ultimate question. You can think about it whilst I'm going through. Okay, so February, so then I could, in effect, write down the books that I read every week in here, but I probably wouldn't do that because I've probably got them in the week. Okay, so this is the beginning of March. So I write the books that I read, the pages that I read here. And then here is usually what the goal is for my reading, what am I reading, like thoughts about what I'm reading, and any kind of reviews. I sometimes review them in this side too. And I often decorate ahead of time, and just put in some pet tape and some washi. I had started putting a little section of to do, but I don't want this to be a to do section. I want this whole thing to be, reading. And I like how messy it is. I like how I use the blue color for the page actually in the book, so that kind of sticks out, and then the black is for any kind of notes about it. That was last week. I mean, some of them are messier than others, and then I started putting this on the side too, and I don't like it. I put it here because I tried to get, you know, just tried to find a way of putting a little bit of to-dos in this book, but I don't like it. I'm not going to do that for this when I set up the next, you know, quarter and the weekly spreads. So yeah, this part of the reading journal is working perfectly. I absolutely love this. I would do things differently. I would not include social media with this, I don't think, if I was starting it again. But you know, it's quarter two, and we can start again. And I will start again in April. However, these stickers, I can pull them off, but they have, like, they leave behind a little sticky residue. So I think I'm gonna have to keep them for this month. But May see me just write the books that I'm reading, or even the books that I finish. And I could do, you know, the books and the genres, you know, decorate a little bit more, whatever. This is where I like the look of this. I really like the look of this, but this is not functioning as it's meant to. So I thought this was going to be a kind of checklist to-do list, so that I can look at it and think, oh, okay, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. It doesn't really work out that way because I don't know why exactly. Maybe you know why, but I come back here and I check things off, but it's after knowing that I've done them. Like I'm not using it as a to-do list necessarily. It's more of a checklist to see if it's done. As a checklist, it works fine. And then I can go, okay, week 11, oh, I didn't do that or whatever. That's fine. And here, this is week 13. It's working fine in that respect, but I don't schedule the to-dos responsible for this. So that's why I think moving them in here might be a way to get at them. And then I could keep this up as the checklist. And also if there are notes that I want to make about particular videos, then I can. And at the back, I have some notes as well about social media and about books. So yeah, I appreciate if you could comment on what you think. By the time you see this, the Sterling Ink sale would have started and I probably would have made a purchase. So I might be adding something into the lineup or not. I might just be kind of reshuffling these things to work the way I want to. But I think my goal of having, separate things in which I have things to do in is really where the problem lies. I think it's fine for me to have a reading journal where I talk about reading and stuff like that as a separate thing, and then everything that has to get done has to be in one book, even if it's different parts of my life. And then that's why perhaps using this as a page per day and making it a daily to-do, I can kind of separate the parts of my day that way rather than kind of separating them into different books. So this is kind of a review of quarter one and kind of going through into quarter two, what I plan to do. I will have a quarter two set up and walk you through maybe with my plan with me for next week. I would like to say also, and I'll probably put a poll up on my community tab and maybe on my Instagram. I have decided to step back a little bit to only posting one video per week. I found that not getting as much viewers as warrants the time to make 2 videos, which is fine. But I think if stepping back and doing one video might be more beneficial, because then I can spend more time creating a video that's more interesting and has more things going on than just a plan with me or just a talk. So moving forward, I'll probably post only once a week, and that will be a kind of usually like a medley of things, and it might be more of plan with me and planner chat and setups and sharing things. It will be kind of all in one. So let me know what you think about those ideas. If you have any ideas or any suggestions for me in terms of what I should do next in quarter two in these planners, in terms of managing my to-do lists and putting the planners information where they should go rather than kind of separate like that, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for the people who have subscribed already. I really appreciate your viewership and your subscription, and I hope that you'll enjoy the videos that I've got coming up for you. Thanks so much for joining me. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.